Shalom everyone and welcome back. This Shabbos we read the Torah portion of Pikudei. It's the last Torah portion of the book of Shemos, of Exodus. And it's a very important parsha. On the other hand, it's a repeat of parshas that we've read before. It outlines the building of the temple and the various aspects that are necessary to build the temple, the various materials and the requirements to build the temple. We are told that the tabernacle in the desert, which we call a Mishkan, was actually a dwelling place for God to dwell in this world. And in fact, we find that there are a lot of different dwelling places that God comes and dwells in the world. In fact, the question is, why is it necessary to repeat so many of the requirements and the details of the building of the temple in this parsha when we read about these things in previous parshas? Why is it necessary? So some rabbis refer to the fact that the temple is a place where God dwells in the world. And it's mentioned in the Torah, indeed, that we should build one. But repeating it refers to not just creating a temple for God to dwell in the land of Israel, an actual Mishkan, a tabernacle, but even outside of Israel, even in diaspora. Now, what do you mean by that? Are we allowed to build a temple outside of Israel? No, a synagogue is not a temple, really. But what does that mean? What does that mean is that there are many different ways that we can create an abode for God to dwell. Many, many different. One way is to build a tabernacle in the desert, and later the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. That was a very important part of creating an abode for God to dwell. In fact, we believe that when Mashiach comes, it will happen again. We'll build a third temple. But when the Jewish people live outside of Israel, how can they bring God down into the world also? How can they create a dira b'tachtonim, a dwelling place down here in the physical world for God to dwell? So there are several ways to do it. Of course, a synagogue is one of them. A synagogue is called a mikdash ma'at, a miniature temple, a miniature sanctuary. When we come into a synagogue, we refer to it as indeed a sanctuary. And there are many laws dealing with a temple, a synagogue, that are referred to it like a temple. However, there is another way to rebuild a temple, and that is through our observance of mitzvot. Our observance of mitzvot. By doing mitzvahs, we also bring godliness into the world, and we make our own lives and our families and our communities also a dwelling place for God in the world through the observance of mitzvot, by putting on tefillin every day, by keeping Shabbos, by learning Torah, by observing the holidays. All of these things also make a dwelling place for God in the world. Purim is coming up next Saturday night, next Sunday. We're looking forward to observing Purim here in San Diego. It is still not too late for you to participate in the Sholach Manos orders, or the Sholach Manos campaign that our synagogue is doing, where we are sending out gifts of food to our friends and relatives throughout the city. And this is a major fundraiser for us in our community. You can do that by going online at chabaduc.org/donate, and mention that this is for the Sholach Manos campaign. Or you can go on to our Purim site and just look on the link for Chabad Purim site in University City. We're also having a beautiful Purim meal on Sunday, a week from this Sunday, at 1:30. We're going to be having a lovely catered meal, along with entertainment for children and for adults. So it should be a lot of fun. We look forward to having you all. We're going to be having various Megillah readings, which are required, both Saturday night, starting at 7:30, and Sunday, following our morning service at 8 o'clock, and then again at 12:30, we'll be having a Megillah reading as well. So we look forward to a beautiful Purim. We hope you'll join us together with Purim this year, and it should be a wonderful, wonderful holiday for us and our families. Shalom.